Yahweh. Well, we have a new president now, President Trump, and a lot of you all are running scared. We are fearful of what is going to come up on the land. Well, it's going to come up eventually, either in your years or in mine or some other years, the younger people. But it is without a doubt, things are going to happen to this world that we live in, this country in which we live in, because the Father Yahweh is a just and righteous and holy Father. And He will repay what needs to be repaid. You will reap what you sow. Everyone will reap what they sow. Now, the Israelites, the reason why we are in the trouble, and we are the Israelites, you all know we are. It has been proven. All the facts in the Bible points to us, the people that are scattered all over the land, and the ones that has been in bounds and chains by the neck and all of that. So we know that we are the children of Israel. Now, it is very dark for us. We are in a country that does not appreciate us, but that has been proclaimed in the book of Jeremiah, that we will go into a country where people will not love us, that would not appreciate us. We would be their slaves. And you would say, well, what kind of a father, Yahweh, would do that to us? Well, it's not because of us, it's because of our foreparents. It's because of what they did, of how they committed adultery, how they played the whore against the Father when He had chosen them and brought them out of the land of Egypt, how they went after other gods, how they served them, how they worshiped the sun, the moon, and the stars, how they worshiped stones and sticks and all other false gods, how they sacrificed their children to be burned by these false gods, how they baked cakes and everything to them. Well, this is what brought on the anger of our Father after He had sent His prophets to plead with them to stop doing what they're doing, to put away the evil of their doing. They would also not even recognize the Sabbath day. They wouldn't keep the Sabbath. They would not take care of the widow or the fatherless. They treated the strangers wrong. They were wrong in their hearts toward their neighbors. So they were evil. They had turned evil. And the Father, He constantly sent a prophet to try and get them to change. Now we're going to read a little bit here from the book of Yahweh, from Jeremiah. And it says, and I won't have the time to read it all, but I will have to go in different chapters and just show you how we end up in the place that we're in. Okay, so we find out that they were deceitful to their neighbors. They lied, they lied, they lied, they lied, they lied. Just like this camera is going in and out. That's what they did. Going in and out. They lied and lied. Okay, so this is what Yahweh said. He says, yet hear the word of Yahweh, O women, and let your ear receive the word of His mouth. Teach your daughters wailing, and every one her neighbors a lamentation. For death has come through our windows, and has entered our palace, cutting off the children from the public squares, and the young men from the streets. Speak, saying, this is what Yahweh says, even the carcasses of men will fall like refuge on the open fields, like shields of grain behind the reaper, which no one will gather. This is what Yahweh says. Let not the wise glory in their wisdom. Let not the mighty glory in their power. Let not the rich glory in their riches. But let those who glory glorify in this, that he understands and knows me, that I am Yahweh, who exercise loving kindness, judgment, and righteousness in the earth. For in this I delight, says Yahweh. Behold, the days come, said Yahweh, that I will punish all those who are circumcised only physically in their foreskin, Egypt, Yada, Edom, the people of Ammon, Moab, and all who are in the farthest countries. In the farthest corners, have shaved temples, the Arab tribes who live in the wilderness. For all these nations are really uncircumcised, and all the house of Israel is uncircumcised in heart. Hear the word which Yahweh speaks concerning you, O house of Israel. This is what Yahweh says. Do not learn the way, religious practice of the heathens, Gentile nations, and do not be deceived by the signs of heaven, though the heathens are deceived by them, using them to set their feasts. For the religious custom of the people are vain, worthless. For one cuts a tree out of the forest, the work of the hands of the workman with the axe. They decorate it with silver and with gold. They fasten it with nail and with hammer, so that it will not move, topple over. Now we know we just celebrated Christmas, and this is what they do. And we have taken on the customs too. They are upright like a palm tree, but they cannot speak. They must be carried because they cannot go by themselves. Do not give them reverence. They cannot do evil, nor is it in them to do righteousness. There is none like you, O Yahweh. You are great, and your name is mighty in power. This is Jeremiah saying this. Who should not reverence you, O King of nations? Yes, this is your due. Among all the wise men of the nations and in all their kingdom, there is none like you. And that's true, none like Yahweh. But they are altogether senseless. As one, they are consumed by their foolishness. Their stock is a doctrine of vanity, preaching about worthless gods made of wood. How many of you are bowing down to the cross, made of wood? Bowing down to the altar, made of wood. You should bow down to only one, and that is your Father Yahweh. But you know, we're doing the tradition of the heathens. And he strictly points it out that they are the heathen. Silver beaten into plates is brought from Tarshish, and gold from Uphaz. The work of the craftsmen of the hands of the goldsmith. Blue and purple are used for decoration. All are made for use in worship, but are only the workmanship of skilled men. And we know that. We have the robes and all of that we lace ourselves with. And this is supposed to tell who we are. This is also a work of the heathens. But Yahweh is the true mighty one. He is the living Father and the everlasting King. At his wrath the earth will tremble, and the nations will not be able to abide his indignation. This is what you will say to them. These gods which have not made the heavens and the earth will perish from the earth and from under these heavens. He has made the earth by his power. He has established the world. He has established the world by his wisdom. And, hallelujah, glory to Yahweh, and has stretched out the heavens at his discretion. When he utters his voice, there is a multitude of waters in the heavens, and he causes the vapor to ascend from the ends of the earth. He makes lightning with the rain. He brings the wind out of his treasures. Every man has become like a brute, senseless, without knowledge. Every goldsmith is brought to shame by his graven idols, carved image of the god. For his molten image is falsehood, and there is no life in them. They are vanity, worthless, and the work of fraud, delusion, and mockery. In the time of their visitation, trials, and punishment, they will perish. The portion of YAHWEH is not like them. For he is the maker of all things, and Israel is the tribe of his inheritance. Yahweh of hosts is his name. Gather up your belongings to leave the land, O inhabitant of the siege. For this is what Yahweh says, behold, with one stroke I will cast out the inhabitants, gods, worshippers of the land, and subdue them, that they may be found revealed. Woe is my destruction, my blow pestilent is severe, for I have said, truly this affliction I will suffer on man. My tabernacle, the house of Yahweh, is destroyed, and all my cords are broken. Remnants diminished. My children have gone forth as captive from me, and they are no more. There is no one to pitch my tent anymore, and to set up my curtains. This will come to pass because the pastors have become brutish, without knowledge, and have not sought Yahweh. Therefore they will not succeed, and all their flocks will be scattered. Behold, the noise of the report has come, and a great commotion out of the north country, to make the cities of YAHWEH desolate, a dens of jackals. O Yahweh, I know the way of man is not ordered by himself. It is not in man a living man to direct his own step. O Yahweh, correct me, but with judgment, not in your anger, or you would bring me to nothing. Pour out your fury upon the heathens who do not know you, and pour out your wrath upon the families who do not call with your name, for they have eaten up Yaakov, devoured him